Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and today we're going to discuss the Pharmercy combo. Is this thing too strong? Now, I want you to go into the comments and let me know what you think about this. Give me reasons as to why you might think it's too strong or why you might not think it's too strong. And now I'm going to tell you what I think. Now, of course, this is the Pharmercy combo, which is Pharah and Mercy working together. It is one of the oldest combos in the entire game. Back in closed beta, this was used a lot. It's a very old synergy. It makes sense, right? Both can fly. Mercy's got complementary skills to Pharah, so she can hover around, chase her in the sky. With a Guardian Angel, she can damage boost her, she can heal her when she takes damage. That's awesome. But is it too strong? No, it's not too strong. But what this is the ultimate, the absolute ultimate sort of skill check in the game right now. Even just a Pharah on its own can be a very strong skill check. But when they're comboed with a Mercy, it becomes quite difficult to take them out. We've all been there, haven't we? I've been there, where a game has just been lost because the enemy team have got a Pharah Mercy, and your team literally do not do anything to kill them. Often, your team will get pretty toxic towards the players who are playing the hit scan. So, your 76 player and your McCree players, they will take a lot of heat. It's like, why are you not killing the Pharah? What are you doing? Well, of course, we know it's not as simple as that. And I've made videos about this before. It's not as simple as just getting a soldier to shoot the Pharah. That doesn't work, especially if there's a Mercy. You've got to remember this. Mercy and Pharah together, that's two players on the team working together in very strong synergy. You can't expect one player to just counter them. Now, there is one character that can counter them, and that's Widowmaker with a fully charged headshot will kill the Pharah straight away. But anyway, let's go into my list of counters to this. And you will be amazed, ladies and gentlemen, because there are a load of counters. However, one very strong sort of vein runs through these, and that is, well, a lot of them are skill counters. It's not as simple as just going, oh, I'll pick this hero, and that counters, you know, like if the enemy had an amazing Winston, you could go, I'm just going to pick Reaper and kill him. Well, yeah, you could, but it's a bit different with Pharah. All right, let's take a look at this. So a 76 with godlike aim will kill this combo. Now, when I say godlike aim, I mean landing headshots, right? Consistently landing headshots will rapidly burn down the Pharah, even if it's being healed by the Mercy. But that takes an exceptional soldier, so that's pretty much, well, a one-off kind of case. Same for a McCree, right? A godlike McCree could do the same thing. More plausible or viable ones are this. So a 76 and McCree, so this is a double hit scan. That actually can do quite a bit of damage to the Pharah if they both prioritise her when she comes over. But then if you look at the team as a whole, because remember, it's not just Pharah and Mercy, is it? There's the whole other enemy team as well. So if you've got two of your DPS, well, but arguably all of your DPS in that game, unless you're running, let's say, triple DPS, is firing at one hero that they're not killing, and she's outputting damage and the rest of their team are doing damage. Often you can lose the battle because of that. But again, double hit scan kind of is a decent counter. But what about this? Hit scan with Zenyatta. Now, this is probably my favourite way of dealing with a Pharah, because if a Pharah is extremely good, and I don't want to be derogatory to Pharah players, but it's quite easy to have a high impact with Pharah. All you've got to do is not fly out in the open, right? Just hug the geometry of the map, hug the buildings, fly around, fire rockets in, fire rockets in. You don't even have to be getting tons of kills, but the fact that she's there, she outputs a lot of damage. It will mess up the enemy team, and having that threat in the sky means all of a sudden you're not just looking on the ground, you're having to look up in the air, so it does really mess up the enemy team. It's kind of like having a Widowmaker, right? Sometimes that can mess up the enemy team as well. Like if you've got a Widow, they're like, oh god, where's the Widow? Like on certain maps, obviously, like Anubis on attack sort of comes to mind. But anyway, a hit scan with a Zen. So if I'm playing Soldier and we're having a problem with a Pharah, I will ask my team, guys, can you swap to Zen? If they do it, that's great, and they discord the Pharah, she will die very quickly. Like a lot of body shots will just take her out. Very, very easy to kill her. But again, a lot of the issues with all of these counters is, will the team actually do it? And a lot of the time, they kind of don't. They like to just blame people for not doing it. The next one we've got is Hit Scan and Ana. So if you've got a Soldier 76 and Ana, you probably will have Ana, because even though she's been nerfed a lot, she's still literally in every game. Now, Ana's nerf reduced her damage from 90 to 60. So what that means is no longer is it 3 shots on the Pharah to kill her, it's 4 shots to kill her. So that's extra time Pharah's going to be alive. But Ana is actually, it's quite easy to hit Pharah with Ana, because you can just fire pretty quick. It's a hit scan sniper, right? And if Soldier's working on her as well with the Ana, often you can kill her. But again, there's a major problem with this. It means that Ana is not healing your team because she's trying to shoot a Pharah out of the sky. So there's these, like, it's not just set in stone. It's not like pick heroes and you counter the Pharah. It's Pharah is a threat that needs to be managed, and when it's with a Mercy, it's even more so. deadly, but also a threat that sometimes you can ignore and sometimes you can't. And if too much of your team focus on taking it out, the other enemy players will destroy your team. So anyway, going on with my list, you actually could take a Mercy on your team and damage boost a Soldier 76 or a McCree to try and counter it. Again, you're kind of committing the same level of players to the sort of engagement. Like, they've got 2 working together, you've got 2 working together, and it depends who comes out on top. You could, if you're totally crazy, decide to go Pharah Mercy against Pharah Mercy and then have like a private battle, in which case it just becomes a 4v4 on the ground and you guys are doing whatever you want to do in the air, but that's probably not ideal. Widowmaker is a sublime counter to this. She just kills Pharah, right? Fully charged headshot, she's dead. It doesn't matter if Mercy's healing her or whatever. It doesn't matter if Mercy... Well, if Mercy's standing in front of her, she can take the bullet for her, I suppose. But then you've kind of fixed half the problem. So, the problem with that is, though, you're not really sure if you need a Widowmaker at the start of the game, are you? And a lot of maps are not great for Widowmaker. Like, if you're on King of the Hill maps, it can be difficult to be effective with Widowmaker, whereas Pharah can be effective pretty much on every single map. I mean, there are some maps which maybe don't work too great for her, but honestly, Pharah can be used in pretty much any situation. And then we come on to the last one, ladies and gentlemen. This is D.Va. And you know what is super interesting, ladies and gentlemen? In Korea, they use a lot of D.Va because Pharah is seen quite a lot, and D.Va counters Pharah in a very big way. D.Va has always countered Pharah, or countered her. In Season 3, D.Va was a monster. We know this because she was OP, right? And she was OP. I don't care what you guys say. Blizzard confirmed it. Everybody confirmed she was ridiculously OP. However, she was in every single game, so it meant Pharah was not very effective. And why is that? How is D.Va countering Pharah? Well, if you think about all of the stuff I've just gone over, and I've said, look guys, there isn't really one hero you can pick which just counters Pharah, and there's not. D.Va, though, can heavily disrupt what Pharah is doing to the point where Pharah becomes, well, pointless. And the good thing about this, if it's a Pharmercy combo you come up against and you take a D.Va and your D.Va is defense matrixing a lot of the shots coming from the Pharah and flying up to the Pharah, using defense matrix in her face if she was ulting, or one thing you can do with D.Va is just fly straight into Pharah while she's using her ultimate, because the splash damage off the front of your mech from the detonation of barrage will kill the Pharah like pretty much instantly. You're taking 2 enemy players out of the game for the price of 1. You're D.Va, yet you've basically neutered Mercy and Pharah working together in the Pharmercy combo with 1 hero pick. So that's an interesting thing to me, because we don't see much D.Va. I honestly don't see much D.Va in the games that I play. When I see a Pharah, it's like, okay, there's a Pharah on the enemy team. If I'm playing Soldier, alright, I'm going to try and prioritize killing her. I know it's going to be difficult, because if she's clever, she's not going to be caught out in the open. So she's going to be hard to kill. Even if she doesn't have a Mercy, she's still going to be hard to kill, because their Ana or whatever could try and heal her from range, and it's going to be difficult. But if I had a D.Va on my team, then I feel a bit safer, because D.Va is going to eat a lot of the projectiles up from the Pharah and also can kind of harass her in a way. D.Va doesn't kill Pharah. This is what I've got to sort of stress here. D.Va isn't like, you don't chase the Pharah down and try and kill her. You just delete her projectiles and make her do, well, absolutely nothing. Defense Matrix is one of the best abilities in the game, and D.Va's kind of fell away after the nerf, but honestly, D.Va still is quite effective, and I think that is something teams need to work into their arsenal when they come against a Pharah player. So just to go back to the start of this video, when I was playing against a Pharah, or playing against a Pharmercy combo, and I see it, and I'm like, oh god, no, I know our team isn't equipped for this. Maybe I'm the only hit scan. Maybe we've got a Tracer and a Soldier as the damage, and the rest are tanks and healers. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to need to work on this, but it's going to be very difficult for me. If I get lucky, I kill the Pharah, or I kill the Mercy. And talking about target priority as well, sometimes it's better to shoot the Mercy, but the Mercy is much more difficult to hit than the Pharah because she's got a smaller hitbox. But if you do kill the Mercy, then obviously that's great. I mean, you kill either one of them, and you've pretty much done your job. But anyway, when I see that happen, it comes down to communication with the team. It's, guys, we need to change it up. Guys, we need to switch. Maybe we need to get a Zen. Maybe we need to get another hit scan. And things like that. And sometimes the team just don't want to know. And then you just end up getting rolled, and it's quite frustrating. The most common thing that happens, and I want you guys not to do this, is don't blame your hit scan players for not killing the Pharah. It's extremely difficult to kill the Pharah. Like, you've got to remember, Pharah, she only needs to press left mouse button twice, and she will kill a Soldier 76 or a McCree trying to kill her. Where if they've got to keep constant tracking aim on and firing at, it's very difficult. Especially if the Pharah is on top of them as well. If she somehow gets very close, it's almost impossible to kill her with a McCree or a Soldier. So just bear that in mind. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. It's a very interesting kind of topic, this is. McCree is a strong counter, Soldier is a strong counter, Widowmaker is a strong counter, Diva is a strong counter, Zen is a strong counter, but when you start putting them together and working against the enemy team, that is the best counter you can have against the Pharah Mercy combo. So in answer to the question at the very start of this video, do I think it's OP? No, but I think it's a very effective synergy in the game that unless you counter, you will lose the match to it because it is impossible to stop. If you're not willing to get a Widowmaker, if you're not willing to maybe drop off that Lucio and grab a Zen, you're not going to win. One little last point as well I want to make is don't underestimate the power of combined fire against this. Even if you're not a hit scan, like if you are Zen and you're firing projectiles, or you're just anybody, right? Firing at the Pharah with the entire team is a very good way of getting rid of the Pharah because there is actually a surprising amount of DPS on the team. Now, obviously, you know, if Lucio is firing at her, you know, it's not going to hit most of the time. But if he does one little ting being a headshot, that would be awesome. And, you know, Soldier follows through and we get the damage and you get the kill, then it can make all the difference. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I think it's going to be a great video, this is for discussion, because this is definitely one of those... It's almost like Bastion at the lower tiers, where like in bronze and below, a Bastion can often just destroy enemy teams. Now you kind of get this Pharah sort of thing, which is a problem throughout, I think, every kind of tier. It's almost like a good Genji where they just wreck enemy teams. A good soldier can wreck enemy teams, but the thing with a good soldier is it's often hard to sort of see that type of instant impact because there's a lot of barriers in the game. Soldier might be working on barriers or doing stuff like that. He's not instantly wiping out backlines, which Pharah and Genji and Tracer can arguably do. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I've been Stylosa, this is Unit Lost, and is the Pharmercy combo too strong? I'll catch you next time, guys. Toodaloo.